Howard Eric Jacobson, British writer and journalist. He is known for writing comic novels that often revolve around the dilemmas of British Jewish characters. Winner of the Booker Prize. Everything is allowable in literature, but what is not allowable in criticism is objection on the grounds of probability. Where there are no spectators, there is no sponsorship. Where there is no sponsorship, there is no money. Where there is no money, there are no officials with fingers in the pot. The lesson to be learned from this is simple. If we want honest sport, we have to stop watching it. Our connection to the great myths of our natures is murky. A mother might see the Medea in herself without imagining she will ever do away with her children. Shake any institution of higher learning, and a dozen boycotters will fall out of it. Artless fairy stories enchant us in our first years and retain their hold on us until our last. As a Jew, I believe that every argument has a counterargument. Nonconformity has always been one of the great British virtues, and that includes nonconformity to things British. Economics is not a science, it is a quasi-religion, part superstition, part mystique, part sentimentality. Bankers dream like other men, the only difference being that when their dreams turn to nightmares, we all lose sleep. There can be no trusting the muttering of any prelate when it comes to money. Passionate dissent from the will of the multitude should be respected, not derided. Most people to whom a statue has been erected are undeserving. Homesickness is universal. But Neapolitan homesickness goes back further than the accidents of domicile. It is nostalgia for love and loss themselves, a soul sickness caused by the very idea of leaving. Alarm bells ring when a politician stands haughty upon his honor. I hear Shakespeare, sometimes, the way other people might hear God or Marx or something. But he's so different from that. If the academic community gets its way, we will soon all be speaking with a single voice. Whoever believes he knows why everything is as it is has hold of nothing. I am happiest now. There's nothing like running out of time to make you realize you're in the right skin, with the right person, and that the apocalypse will happen with or without you. Sentimentality works by our seeing only what we want to see. We shouldn't be too hard on vanity. It can be a mark of respect for the world. Literature is a house with many mansions. What isn't for everybody shouldn't be for anybody. The world's opera houses are the reasons we have cardboard cities. The terrorist isn't a problem because he doesn't conform, he's a problem because he does. It's what he conforms to that makes him dangerous. The young come in many guises, vigorous and passionate, vindictive and mean-spirited. And not every person over 65 is dozing in a retirement home. Sensitivity doesn't necessarily make you easy to get on with. When emotion rules, every fool thinks that he is holy. A system of thought that accepts no inconsistencies is a frightful thing. In my experience, every book you write changes the conditions in which you write the next. Of the secular mysteries to which I wake with fresh and sometimes angry amazement every day, the Q is the second most baffling. The first is the fan. Let discernment in matters of fashion and entertainment determine who should get the vote, and half the country would be disenfranchised. There's a problem with narratives. Most that spring to mind are fictional. Show me a university which is a hotbed of thin-skinned offense-taking, where every unacceptable idea is policed and every person who happens to hold one is hounded out of a job, and I will show you a university that isn't a university but an ideological prison camp and indoctrination center. Let's be honest with one another. Almost everything is too long except life, and I know people who wouldn't even concur with that exception. Sometimes, a writer's life alone can tell a story. The Christian Armenian story was the Polish-Jewish story. The efforts of the Armenians to stay alive in Musadag chimed with those struggling to survive the ghetto. It's a law of our natures, especially when the political fit is on us, to applaud where we already approve and deride where we don't. A writer should never allow himself to be lulled out of the vigilance native to his profession. Making America great again, as if to keep the world out. The world and all its fresh ideas and everything that's new and exhilarating and the wind of change that should blow through the world block it out, wall ourselves up. That for me goes with a small vocabulary. A narrow, confining vocabulary. To assert that anti-Semitism is unlike other racisms is not to claim a privilege for it. Hating a Jew is no worse than hating anyone else. You don't have to be in pursuit of a body beautiful to wish yourself to be the flexuously willowy creature you once were, or, failing that, just to be able to pick up something you have dropped. You cannot exercise and be amused about it. You cannot integrate the dying bug into your core workout and hold to the position that you are a spiritual being. In this way, the body and the mind are each other's opposite unto death. which is why you have to choose which of them you are going to follow. Rejection is the one constant of human experience. Sometimes it's best to speak from ignorance. That way, you can see the wood without being distracted by the trees. A book isn't noise to drown out other noise. Nothing is more interesting in a novel or a play than an affair. If the great thing about the internet is that it throws wide the doors of discussion to everyone, the bad thing about the internet is that it throws wide the doors of discussion to everyone. The more educated we are, the less we are prepared to tolerate views contrary to our own. A healthy culture doesn't memorialize only those it agrees with. There's no law that says you have to be consistent in your preferences. It's always nice to be praised, and insofar as a prize is a form of praise, you're glad when you get it. You are changed by the people you are closest to, and this has allowed me to forgive myself for the person I once was.